right, folks. So I'm going to do a 3-video series on the importance of matching up your stance with the type release pattern and the type of motion you make through the ball. But today, I just want you to do one thing. I did this video, if you look at my playlist, I did a video similar to this about 6-7 years ago, right? But before I get there, when we unpack this, do me a favor, folks. Hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't make a difference. Your comments do. So what I want you to do, we'll get to the devil in the details where the rubber meet the road later. But what I just want you to do, I want you to go out to the driving range or your favorite golf hole, and I want you to hit a shot with your feet close together. And I want you to spread your feet out a little bit wider on your next shot. And then I want you to have a wide stance on your third shot. Now here's the keys right here. For the narrow stance, I want you to have a neutral grip, right? For the middle stance, I want you to go at least 2 knuckles. And for the wide stance, I want you to go at least 3 knuckles. Hear me out. Just do this and let's see. Report back in the comments. Come back to this video and report back out of those 3 shots, which shot felt more natural, felt more powerful, and felt like you could repeat it. So I'm gonna do the first one. Feet gonna be about 10 inches apart, a weak neutral grip. Not bad. The next one, I'm going to spread my feet out, let's say to about 12 inches, 10 to 12 inches, right? I'm going to go at least 2 knuckles on my grip. I already know that's my zone right there. You can hear it in the compression and everything. And then on the next one, I'm gonna go, let's say 12 inches out, at least 12 inches in my stance out. And I'm gonna go to a 3 knuckle, at least a 3 knuckle grip, right? So a wider stance, stronger grip. Good ball. Wow. Okay. I want you to take this out and I want you to see which one works for you. Remember, the narrower the grip, the narrower the stance, the weaker the grip, just for this test. So the first one is going to be 8 inches, at least 8 inches, right? 8 to 12, 8 to 13 inches, okay? And you're going to have a weak grip. The second one going to be at least 10 inches. Let's go 10 to 8. 8 inches in between, right? 10 to 18 inches, and you're gonna have at least a 2 knuckle grip. The third one gonna be 12 to 20 inches apart, stance, 12 to 20 inches apart, and you're gonna have a stronger grip, at least a 3 knuckle grip. And what we're trying to do is right balance, right? Right back, Dr. Wright. We're trying to match up your balance points. What we do every day. Okay, think about it. Why would we try to change what we do into our DNA, and we do this for everything? We lift like this, we run like this, we walk like this, and then we get on the golf course and we're doing something totally different. And we know scientifically this works out. The reason why is this. Once we find out what your natural balance point is, we match it up, we can have you lift weights with your natural balance point, and you're going to be able to lift more weight faster and more safely. What is that? That's more momentum, that's more speed, that's more power. So why are you trying to force yourself into certain things when we don't have to? Again, this is really something that you're gonna find out, like Dr. Wright said. Are you upper core, middle core, or lower core? When it comes to balance points, this is not nothing new. Dr. Wright got 25 years of daggone research backing this up. We know scientifically it's legit, folks. One thing I tell my students, they don't even know it, because I like to say a coach can know something, but the client doesn't have to know it. So I'll have a client working with me, and I'll tell that client, why don't you bring your feet a little bit closer? Let's hit some balls that way. And I'll say, now spread your feet out a little bit farther, and we'll find their happy spot. And then I ask them a question. I'll ask them a question. If you was gonna jump on a box, how would you do it? Would you load your heels and jump, or would you get on the balls of your feet? It's different for everybody. The person that gets on the balls of their feet, they got a certain balance point that they can play high-level golf in. And it's the way we use the ground. If you are an upper balance player, you use the ground vertically and rotationally. If you are a lower body core player, you use the ground rotationally and laterally. If you are a middle core player, you implement all three: rotational, a little bit of lateral, and vertical. Now, I just hit these balls, right? I know which I'm a middle core person, right? Okay, so I balance more with the middle. I'm a middle core balance person. It's just the way I lift. You know, I don't have a narrow stance. I have a medium stance. When I deadlift and squat, I have a medium stance. I don't have a wide stance. And that's what you can compare it with. How do you do most of your things? But if I say, and I say I'm like right on the edge of lower core balance and middle core balance, right? So I can play a lower core, like here's lower core, wider stance, stronger grip. Nice ball. Now, let's try where I'm at. Middle core, medium stance, about 2 knuckles. Yeah, that's so natural for me. And then upper core balance, which are arm swingers, arms and hand swingers, right? Narrower stance, weaker grip. Now, if I try to swing with that narrow stance, I lose my balance. I really do. I get more distance, which is weird. I get more distance with the wider stance and the stronger grip. About an extra 5 yards. That's 3 balls with the wide stance, stronger grip, all 3 next to each other. The 2 balls with the middle stance width, they are next to each other. And then the 2 balls with the narrow stance, they are pretty much next to each other. And I'll take you up there. Let me fix this up. But they're shorter. That's the key. The distance is shorter. So the narrow stance didn't give me my optimum power. And what are we trying to play with? We're trying to play with our optimum power where we don't have to manipulate anything, right? You know, that is the goal. Put these clubs in here. Folks, I'll take you up here and show you what I mean. And I'll give you, like I said, it's gonna be a 3-video series. I'm gonna give you plenty of details. You can go on there and check it out. rightbalance.com. It's something I've been using for 8-9 years in my teaching. You know, I've been using it a long time, folks. You know, so here you go. Which is not, this is not going to be odd. So this is narrow stance, right? Isn't it weird that narrow stance is more to the right? Middle stance, and then my really good middle stance right here, absolutely smoked that one, and then the 2 wide stances. Boom. Isn't that something? Wide stance right here, middle stance in the middle, narrow stance are on the left or more toward the right. This is real data for me. This is real feedback. I got more distance consistently out of the wider stance, you know. And like I said, me personally, I'm like right stuck in the middle. I can play the stronger grip and the wider stance and get up and do just fine because you can train yourself. I've trained my muscles to be able to do that. I do a lot of deadlifts, a lot of squats, a lot of sandbag carries. So I've trained the muscles to allow them to be able to repeat. But my normal everyday swing is that middle stance, you know, and I'm using all 3 forces. Again, this is something that you can delve into. It's the winter. This is the time to have fun, folks. And I'm telling you, this right here is a game changer. And I'm going to go into detail about this. I'm going to go into deep detail where you can understand why you would want to do this and what's the benefit of doing this. It comes down to matchups, right? Okay, think about this. Somebody who's a method teacher, you may have to change 3, 4, 5 things to fit into their method. Whereas somebody who teaches matchups, you may only have to change 1 thing that's going to match up to what you're already doing well. It's hard enough to get a golfer to change anything, let alone 3, 4, or 5 things, right? Take care, keep grinding, folks. Peace.